This is the third of the three-part lecture series for Practical Law Office Management, Chapter 1. This lecture covers law practice organization structures. There are different forms of private practice law firms. The things to keep in mind are where the form of a private practice firm is concerned are two things: management and liability. And I guess also taxes fall into this strategy of deciding what kind of law practice firm to have. First, sole proprietorship. It's where the one person owns a business, the proprietor, this person is called, and it's an attorney, runs a business, personally receives all the profits, and is personally responsible for all losses and liabilities of the law office. A sole proprietorship is a legal structure and should not be confused with a sole practitioner. So there's sole practitioner that a lawyer is considered as being as a practitioner, and there's proprietorship. That's the business sense, the piece that is its structure of the firm. Partnerships. The partnership legal structure allows two or more attorneys to associate themselves together and to share in the profits or losses of the business. All the partners are jointly and severally liable for the actions of the firm and for the debts of the partnership. A professional corporation provides a legal structure that allows a single shareholder or group of shareholders from the same profession, such as attorneys, to share in the outcomes of a business. Unlike a partnership, in which partners are liable for the debts of the partnership, shareholders are not personally liable for the debts of the corporation. So again, as I pointed out when we started the conversation, liability is one of the central pieces of how are we going to set up, how am I or we going to set up our type of law firm. The limited liability company is a legal structure recognized by 30 states, and it allows for limited personal liability of company debts for its owners, but it's treated like a partnership for tax purposes. So in comes the topic I brought up to start with: how are taxes handled? Private law firm management structure. So you have the form of the business. Is it a partnership, a sole proprietorship, a limited liability, etc.? And then there is the question of how do we manage this? Private law firm management structures include a powerful managing partner. The powerful managing partner management structure is one in which a single partner is responsible for managing the firm. The managing partner is responsible for the day-to-day operations of the partnership, and partners vote on major firm decisions. The powerful managing partner structure is autocratic, and that power rests in one person. And there's also the rule by all partners / shareholders. Rule by all partners / shareholders is a management structure in which all partners and shareholders are included in decisions that affect the firm. This is a democratic structure. The third is rule by management or committee / board. This type of structure uses a committee structure to make management decisions for the firm. Common committees include the Library Committee, Automation Committee, Finance Committee, and Personnel Committee. Quite frankly, it sounds a lot like education, higher education, committee for everything. So that's the type of structure that you'll see in most private law firms. But there are other types of management structures that apply to the corporate, the government, or the legal aid organization. And I think the thing to keep in mind is with the law firm, private law firm management structure, we're dealing with people, shareholders that own a business interest. When we get to the corporate and government and legal aid organization, you don't have that ownership principle behind the structure or the form of the business. And so the management structures, I guess, without relax because it's a little different in terms of who's liable for what. Corporate, government, legal aid, they all have, they share a different quality of liability that isn't quite so dramatic as a law firm would. The corporate law departments are either centralized, meaning the office is located in corporate headquarters and provides services to the whole company, or they're decentralized, where separate attorneys are located throughout the organization. Many government practices are decentralized, with each agency having its own legal department, and legal aid practices, because they're usually nonprofit corporations, are overseen by a board of directors. The board of directors hires an executive director to operate the organization. So that concludes the lecture series for Chapter 1. We just covered the law practice organization structures. We covered prior to that the types of people, the legal team, and then we covered the types of law practices. So we've done 3 important ground-setting topics to give you an understanding of what of the legal team, basically an understanding of what does a law firm look like principally. So you know the legal team, you know now about the types of law practices, and you know how they organize their structures. There's a lot more to that, like the financial pieces that we're going to come into in the future lessons. How legal administration works in terms of things like technology, how the legal administration functions, and how the management of the firm is taken care of, financial management, human resources, etc. Those will come next on Chapter 2. So thank you very much for listening, and I hope you have a wonderful day.